Okay, sorry. Hey, you guys. I am back. I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone, I guess you could say. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my, let me just bring the camera a little closer. Okay. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my abortion story. This is also a part of my life, and this is a part of something that I've been through that has really struck me very hard, and it's a part of a reason why I never came onto YouTube and started my channel sooner. I guess I wanted to start my channel years ago, but I was stopped because of a lot of things that I was experiencing emotionally. When I was 18, I had a boyfriend who we had a strong relationship at the time, and I loved his family, and his family was always amazing towards me, and I really had no real complaints when it came to them. Okay, I really had no real complaints. They were amazing. They treated me as if I was their own daughter, and I was happy, I guess. I didn't expect us to get into such a long relationship, but we were together for a couple of years. I think I was about 20, no, 19, 18 or 19. I ended up pregnant because when you're with somebody, you guys do things, and you pass puberty, and things happen. So we did a couple of things, and I ended up pregnant. And I told my mom. She knew. She was upset, obviously, but she was down for whatever, down for whatever I had coming, because she knew that possibly it wasn't a possibility that I could have kids. So I knew ever since I was a little girl that I always loved children, and I always wanted to be a mom. I remember sitting down and talking to her and telling her that I'd rather give up my life to have a child, because I know that I'd be an amazing mother. And the fact that I used to consistently babysit children and be around children, it always pushed that thought in my mind, because I always worried that I couldn't have. So going back to what I was saying, when I was 19, I ended up pregnant, and I ended up having to go to the emergency room because I started to bleed a little early. And what happened was, I just had a little blood that was around the cervix or whatever that just had to come out. So it was nothing big. The baby's heartbeat at the time was 138 beats per minute. And he or she was doing very well. I was around 6 weeks at the time. And I remember having to go to an appointment. I don't remember if it was a week later I had an appointment. And we discussed the fact that I was pregnant. There was a few doctors in the room, and my sister was in the room as well. If I'm looking over here, it's because I'm like trying to keep it together all the time. I'm trying to keep it together. But that's something that really hurt me a lot. And I remember having my sister there, my mother there, and the doctors there, and we were talking about whether I can keep the baby or not. As soon as I got there, we started talking, and they told me automatically that it was a no, that I couldn't keep the baby, that if I kept the baby that I would die. And I remember breaking down in tears, my sister breaking down in tears with me, and I remember just feeling an overwhelming sensation of guilt, because I felt like I should have saved that baby, and I shouldn't have put myself into the predicament that I was in. And I was so upset, I was so hurt. And I remember them telling me that I had to have it done by 8 weeks. I had to have the abortion done by 8 weeks, and that they were going to put everything together so that I can have the abortion done. The day of the abortion, they brought me into a different room of the hospital, and they made me sign some papers, and they showed me a picture of my baby right on top of the paper that I was signing. And I felt like I went numb. For a second, I went cold. I didn't know what was happening. I don't remember what was happening. I shut myself off, because I felt like, what kind of mother could kill their child? But I did. And I remember going into the room, them calling me to go to the room, And I was laying down, and they pretty much prop your legs up and they tie it to like buckle it so that you're like laying down on your back but with your legs are in the air like so. So they put me to sleep, and they were bringing all the tools before they put me to sleep. They brought out all the tools and they put me to sleep. When I woke up in a bed, and I remember just holding my belly and just telling my mother, they took my baby. They took my baby. My baby's gone. And I am stronger now, yes, but remembering things like that really do impact you, because that's not something that I wanted to do, but it's something that I had to do. And it was a couple of days before Mother's Day. And I remember my mom just getting a chain for me. And it's something that's very tender, you know. Everybody tends to have an abortion. Well, a lot of people tend to abort their child, and they have their own reasons. But for me, I don't support it, and I don't recommend it. And I know that it ruined my life a great deal. For a couple of years, I felt worthless. I felt really bad, and it broke me down. But that was my abortion story. I know that he or she is in heaven, and that's what I want to keep telling myself, that he or she's in heaven and everything happens for a reason. And I know that he or she may not be here, but they will forever be in my heart, forever. I also remember before I had my son, 2 months before I found that I was pregnant with my son, I guess you could say a month before, I experienced a miscarriage. And I miscarried at home. And it was due to a panic attack. And I know it was. But at the time, I wasn't in good terms with the father. And I wasn't being treated fairly. And I had a lot of emotions inside me. And the person was emotionally, verbally abusive. So I did lose that baby. And I remember it happening at home. And, you know, when things like that happen, what can you really say? They happen. You know, you're hurt. So yes, I've been through a couple of obstacles so far. That's two. But there's a lot that you will come to find out about me a little later. But that was my abortion story and my miscarriage. Now that I have my son, I am not fully complete, but I'm complete. You know, I always miss those two, but I am complete. He is a miracle in my life, and I am so glad that I stepped on. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I jumped on the ball. I went straight to the doctor. I asked him why I had a miscarriage the last time. I looked up reasons why you can miscarry, and I saved his life because when I was pregnant, they told me that my progesterone level. When I looked up progesterone, and then I called my doctor and asked her about progesterone levels, they immediately told me to come in to take. Well, not immediately, but they told me that I can come in and I can have some blood work done and they could just check that level. And lo and behold, my progesterone level was really low. So I could have miscarried this baby as well. And as soon as she found out that my progesterone level was low, they prescribed me right away progesterone pills. And I took progesterone pills till I was 13 weeks pregnant to maintain that pregnancy. And I give God all the glory because I know that he instilled those thoughts in my head, like to look up or find out why, you know, that way he can be here. I've been through possibly losing him, you know, my bowel salts being too high to possibly losing him. And he was never an active baby that moved a lot, so I had to be monitoring his movements. And they told me at a certain point, you know, if he's not moving enough, come in, or just right now we can't give you any more medications to maintain your bowel salts. We have given you the highest dose. You just have to really monitor how he's moving right from here on out. Like, and I mean, like, can you not say that he is a miracle? Like, I know that he's a miracle, and everything does happen for reasons. Those two would have made me happy, yes, but he is my reason to believing that there's a God out there. Like, he is just proof, living proof that there is a God. And I will never, like I said, advise anybody to get an abortion, because you are destroying a life. You are killing a life. What makes you think that just because you do not see a head, a body, or whatever it is, that is not a living thing? You know, that's not a person. We all start from this and become this. So it's like, would I have wanted my mother to kill me? No. I'm so proud that she had me. So learn from your mistakes, you guys, and just know that I've been through it. I've been through it, and I'm still strong. And I want you guys to always be strong too. So with that being said, my abortion story and my miscarriage and my miracle pregnancy, that's what it is. This is what it is, and I will see you guys in my next video. So, bye.